Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range. Now I just happened to be here in Vancouver filming with Rob of the Britishmuzzleloaders channel, and I was invited by the Seaforth Highlanders of Canada Museum to unbox their latest acquisition, and it's an absolute honour to be able to do so. Everyone loves unboxing videos, and let's just say this is not a Ruger 1022. So let's see what is in. Thank you. Second layer of packaging. First time I've had one of these in my hands. This, for those who aren't aware, is a Maxim MG08/15 light, in inverted commas, machine gun. Now the background to this was the start of World War I. Machine guns in general were heavy tripod mounted. The few light machine guns around, like the Madsen and the Hotchkiss Portative, were not well spread through the various forces, and were expensive to make. There wasn't that much manufacturing capacity. With the Madsen, they were produced in neutral Denmark, so Germany wasn't necessarily able to get as many as they would want. So they just took the basic MG08 tripod mounted machine gun and lightened it. It is still, however, water cooled, belt fed from a 250 round cloth belt. Receiver is stripped down a bit, and there's a pistol grip on the bottom instead of spade grips on the back, and a butt. Now, just a bit of basics on the Maxim action. It's a lever toggle lock, sort of knee joint lock. The barrel is reciprocating. It's attached to. Let's see if we can get this in a position for us to open it. Yes, it is. It is attached to a frame. Fires from a closed bolt. So the barrel's reciprocating, is attached to an internal frame. There's your knee joint that locks it. Now when you cycle the handle, you break the knee joint, brings the breech prop back, and then it flies forward again. This thing here is the belt feed, and you've got basically a slot for the rim of the cartridge there. Drops down, feeds in. Basically the belt comes through here. Let's just get it back down there. So the first thing that happens is you've got a round in the chamber and a round held in that channel on the feed arrangement. The barrel and the internal frame come back. They hit a cam there, which that surface there hits that cam there, that roller, which we can't make it. No, we can sort of make it do. Buff. This then starts to come back under its momentum. This then drops, and what that does is, if you can see it, but there'd be a live round at the back there. At this point, you've got a live round at the top and an empty case at the bottom. It drops down, rams the live round into the chamber. The empty case goes through a hole there. You can see my finger coming in and out of. And then it pops back up there. The empty case is pushed off the bottom by the edge of that hole, goes down comes out the front. The next live round in the feed tray is picked up, and then we rinse and repeat, and round and round and round it goes. So the belt feed is actually actuated by the movement of the barrel, not anything in the breech mechanism back here. So if you press on the barrel, please, you can see that the feed block goes, the pull goes backwards and forwards as the barrel goes backwards and forwards, and that brings the belt across, and you can see the barrel coming back there like that, and the internal frame that it's attached to there. Now, you can push the barrel again, please. And you can see that this one's just been lightly deactivated 1990s style. The museum does, in fact, have a prohibited license, so the idea is that this will be restored to fully working condition and used for demonstrations, I presume. Yay. Right. So the return spring acts on a crank that's connected to the cocking handle on the left side of the receiver, and it's locked in by this cover. And this one needs a bit of work. This won't lock up. This won't lock up fully. It's going to need the attention of a gun plumber. And the weight on the spring can be adjusted with this screw here. And there's a scale of I believe that's kilograms force, and you need to balance this spring for the ammunition and the state of the gun, and so on. Ach Gott in Himmel, this new light machine gun is not very light at all. This hasn't even got any water in it, and I'm struggling. In use, you've got the 250 round belt in a drum on the side, and by the time the belt's almost empty, you've got lots and lots of canvas hanging off the side, and a bipod at the back there. Let's just get down behind it. Whew. Just do that again. So we haven't got much tension on the mainspring because the covers are a bit bent. Cycle it twice to get around in the chamber. Safety catches on the left hand side. Back to fire, front to safe. Fires from a closed bolt as all the Maxims do. It's fairly well balanced here. With water in it, it would balance a bit further forward. These are actually used in training and reserve or non-frontline units as late as World War II. And if you ever see a photo of one with the bipod at the front, it's from the post-World War I period, because they stayed in use for quite a long time. Sights are offset to the left. This is fairly comfortable. We're sighted from 400 to 1800 meters on a tangent, and that is stuck, so I won't move that. Now, actually lying down like this is not too uncomfortable. The hook on the top of the butt there, it sits on the top of your shoulder and does what it's supposed to do, but even without water, this is a complete beast. And imagine trying not to burn yourself while picking this up to advance when it's hot. I mean, it's quite impressive. Firing it from the shoulder, standing, right out. So, there you go. Brief look at the Seaforth Highlanders of Canada's museum's new acquisition there. So thanks very much to them for hosting me. Thanks very much to Rob of Britishmuzzleloaders for also for hosting me the last few days. It's been a great time. If you're unaware of his channel, where have you been all this time? Go look it up. There's a link in the description. Please consider liking, subscribing to him and supporting him on Patreon. And see you again sometime. Bye.